This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to start today's Belchertown Board of Health meeting for September 22nd, 2025. It is now 6:01. Our first discussion item is the COVID-19 vaccine approval. Andrea, would you like to start this off?
Ken?
Ken? Okay.
Okay, I think this is referring to the meeting that we had of the three offices, am I correct?
I
there was a
remember it was
proposal-
an email that Bill
Yeah,
suggested,
okay,
and then
so let me
this never
explain
got
what this
taken
is.
off the agenda.
So we were concerned with what's been happening in Washington, as a lot of people were concerned about a lot of different things coming out of Washington, but specifically about COVID-19. And I should say who we are. This year, Andrea set up for the three offices of the Quabbin Health District, which is Ware and Pelham and Belchertown. I'm the representative from Belchertown. Are meeting periodically to discuss issues basically before the meetings of the Quabbin Health District. When is the next meeting, Quabbin? It's a few weeks, right?
October 1st.
Next week. And so one of the issues that came up, I think it was originally proposed by Bill Pula of Pelham, that we make some kind of statement about what at the time was the reluctance of the people in Washington to allow the COVID-19 vaccine to be distributed. So I drafted a possible proposal. I mean, obviously it's non-binding on anybody, but saying the positions of the three towns is. But very soon after that, we heard, and that's this piece from Maura Healy, that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts will assure that people will be able to get COVID-19 vaccine, and I think a number of others, if I'm not mistaken. Like they're banning it in Texas, which means that children in Texas are dying because they can't get a measles vaccine. That's a really smart. Politicalization of vaccines is just so outrageous. I mean, it's one thing to do politicalization of funding. Harry Truman first proposed Medicare in the 1940s. That seems reasonable. How to spend it, but this should be left to the experts, and we don't fire all the experts. Too much editorializing. Anyway, so Governor Healy and the Commonwealth have said that now these will be available, at least in Massachusetts, and I believe they are now available in the local pharmacies and presumably doctors' offices if they want to do it that way and so forth. So did Pelham discuss this? Because their meeting was before ours. It was like last week.
Just briefly, because once they
There's nothing really
started
to
meeting,
pass.
it was already approved
Right.
in Massachusetts,
Right.
so
that's what.
it was just kind of noted.
Right, and we put this on the agenda because we plan to put it on the agenda for once something could happen before we have to discuss it. So, well done. And that's, I guess, unless there's more discussion.
Well, I guess I wonder, just, in case anybody watches the recording, and I'm sure the info is getting out there through us, as well as others across the state. I think it's great that Massachusetts did it. Also, just to note that because they took that step, you can use your insurance for, whereas at the federal level, they were also talking about not only are certain groups ineligible, but even if you didn't qualify, you would have to pay for it out of pocket as well. So both the public health side of it and the insurance side and the announcements coming out of the state have all the insurers and the insurance commission on board, along with all the public health people, particularly the state health department. So all of that's to the good. It also sounds like Massachusetts is connecting up with neighboring states, and they're all talking to each other, which I think is helpful as well. particularly in the northeast region of the country.
And 4 states on the west coast.
As well,
Doesn't
yep,
say.
West Coast doing it, talking to each other, yeah.
I don't like it though, because it seems to sound a lot like the 1850s before the Civil War.
Well, it's, I guess, this is unprecedented. It's unprecedented for the states to have to do this because we've always relied on the Centers for Disease Control, who had that vaccine advisory panel, and it had all the experts, and it was based in science. So the fact that the states even have to do this is unprecedented. Nobody's seen it.
And heaven forbid you live in Florida or Alabama.
Right, and many of us have family members who are in the friends and family who are in states for whom it might be a real challenge or again, have to pay out of pocket and potentially maybe be at risk because they're not able to get it as readily as we'll be able to, thankfully, in Massachusetts.
Dr. Jeff didn't even ask me my insurance information. That was interesting. Unless it was on there from previous.
From previously, yeah.
It's also impressive how fast they acted in Boston, because that's not exactly what we expect. They often do the right thing, but it takes some years.
And I applaud. I guess I would also say too, this is a circumstance. I encourage people we're lucky we've got local expertise here. We've got public health experts. We've got people who know. We've got healthcare providers in the Western Mass who can provide information. So we've got local expertise, and then sort of listen to that and listen to the state, and maybe worry less about what's coming out of at the federal level.
And if you want good advice, ask your doctor.
Ask your doctor. Absolutely.
Yep. All right, no more discussion. We'll go on to our first action item of the evening. And our only action item is to appoint Sharon Oi as the new animal inspector. Hey Sharon, how are you? Pretty good.
Joanne's our human resources director. We did interviews, it was last week. We had 2 candidates for animal inspector, and, we both agreed she was the best candidate. Sharon has a lot of experience with animals, farm animals, working as farmhand in multiple places in Belchertown. She's a resident, so her response to things like, a dog bite and quarantining for 10 days and following up with quarantines would be convenient. And you want to talk about your education too, which I thought was very impressive.
I just graduated from UMass Amherst with a degree in animal sciences, animal management specifically, and I took 2 semesters of welfare and care, which goes into inspection of animals, like how to maintain facilities with animals in it. And then I did sheep, goat, and horse management. So it's, the whole thing is all animal focused, so it's all super fresh. I just graduated last spring.
Oh, cool.
Excellent.
I would say she's the most qualified animal inspector we've ever
I
had.
know.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think you're right.
Which is great.
That's
Really
excellent.
excited.
And you love animals at the same time. Science
Yeah.
plus love animals. That's the ideal,
Nice.
combination.
Yesterday.
I was there with my alpacas, yeah.
Oh, good.
In the
Wait,
4-H?
you named some animals, but you didn't mention alpacas.
Oh, yeah, there's no animal alpaca classes at UMass anymore. Dr. Purdy used to be the instructor for it, but I have 5 alpacas and a horse myself, 30 chickens, 3 dogs, and then some exotic species, tarantulas and snakes. So
Cool. Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Don't let them out.
yeah.
Bring them to the next meeting.
That's excellent.
I want to ask Andrew a question, because I've never really understood that. Do you supervise her, or how does that work? Does it seem
Yes,
like
I
it's
would
different
provide,
from the?
yes, I would provide guidance. I don't have the authority to fire. So if there was a case where, worst case scenario, she wasn't doing the job, or there were a lot of issues, I would bring it to the board's attention. And you would have that discussion, most likely in executive session, and make that decision. As far as like because I act as your director, I do oversee the day-to-day operations of the department, which include any Board of Health staff you have. So as an animal inspector, she falls under the Board of Health.
Yeah.
You pay the stipend and everything. So she's not a club and health district employee. She's a Board of Health employee, which I do have supervisory, but ultimately that's why, I did the interviewing, but then the decision I'm bringing that here, so you would be the ones to appoint.
Do the other two towns have inspectors?
Yes, Pelham, I think Nancy Long is still the animal inspector. I think she's both animal inspector, animal control. And Ware uses a regional, well, no, I'm sorry, so Ware has a separate animal control, but their animal control is not their animal inspector, and Ware, so Tom Kolarski, he's a retired police officer. He's been the animal inspector for Ware for many years.
So there's enough work in all three towns to have 5 people between control and inspection, or 4 people? I'm just wondering whether this would be something that could come under the district at some point.
That is
Obviously, that's not
a
really
really
related to
good
her.
question.
Yeah.
But the Mass General laws have, the wording in the Mass General laws, it's done through the Board of Health.
Health.
Yeah, but you're appointed by all
But
3
we are
boards
a
as a director.
district, so.
But that would be the same as you.
It
You're
is true,
appointed
yeah.
as the director of all 3. I'm just,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to just having
Yeah.
one animal inspector
That serves
For
all,
the-
yeah,
for the
for
district.
the district.
At some point, 'cause I'm sure at some point.
what's the difference between inspection and control?
Animal control deals with like,
Parking bars.
yeah, nuisance animals,
Nuisance
like
animals, right.
animals that bite.
Bite.
We do the like the animal inspector does the quarantining, but they would be involved if there was like a hearing, through the select board on that. They get involved with like licensing, dog licensing, leash laws,
Disputes
running at large,
between,
loose
yeah,
dogs,
loose
yeah, you
dogs,
can't have
disputes
that.
between residents about a dog, yeah.
They get involved with abuse and neglect,
Abuse, right.
of animals. They don't really deal that much with stray cats though. You have to have a bylaw.
Do we?
That's the.
No, do we
we
need a
have-
bylaw?
Oh, I would love for all the towns to have a bylaw.
Well, do
like
we need a
similar-
bylaw?
I can't push that,
What, is that a
No.
town meeting issue, or is that
but I
a
think
Board of
it's a,
Health
I think
issue?
it would be like a select board
Select board.
type, bylaw, like.
Maybe
do
Cheryl
one of the
Sabara
animals.
could give us some language. No, seriously. Should be that
It
hard.
would.
Gail did a whole big thing.
There
Well,
would be
you
a
know,
lot
I was the
more.
head of the dog, we had a dog control bylaw committee years ago.
Yeah.
So that's how that current dog control bylaw and the dog control advisory board that I think still exists, that's where all of that came out of. But I mean, I wonder if, I mean, there's, you know, if you feel like there's a need to explore a cat related bylaw, like you said, maybe look at language, what have other towns done?
Yeah.
And then,
There are some other towns,
Yeah,
and cities
that
that have bylaws in regards, like instead of dogs running at large, like you have a pet dog,
Right.
you have to stay on the property, they have similar ones for cats to reduce roaming,
roaming.
stray cats. So if there is a cat that's roaming, then the animal control would be able to pick up the cat and put them in the shelter and maybe put something out there and hold them for 7 days. And if nobody claims them, do the same thing like they would for a dog.
For a
Right.
dog,
And
right.
work with the local shelter to get the
Right.
cat adopted out. There are some municipalities that have that. It would just create more work for the animal
For
control
animal
because
control, right.
it's harder for pet owners to keep. A lot of it is I wouldn't say cultural, but it's so norms, like social norms.
Yeah, I mean, we had a
So,
cat
you
that's
know, you
gluten
have
free
to-
and you,
Right,
as long as it doesn't
You
get run over
might
by
have a lot of
car.
residents that would be opposed to it
Yeah.
because they believe that their cat should be able to have their freedom, which freedom comes with a price, like getting hit by a car, getting
Yeah.
right.
picked off by wildlife
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
taken in by someone who thinks the animal is not,
Right.
doesn't have a home, so, but it just, yeah,
I was astonished that Gail's committee proposal passed town meeting essentially without debate.
Well, I guess
I thought anything
I
about
know,
people's
pets
pet
is
dogs
hard,
would be at least
but-
4 hours of argument.
but maybe
There was
everybody,
maybe unanimous.
everybody didn't see leading up to that, and I hear what you're saying, that, pet owners, all of us who have pets, whatever it is, we have strong feelings and we love our pets. But it took literally months and months of getting feedback, having public hearings,
Right.
modifying the dog control bylaw so that the final wording seemed acceptable. But yeah, it was a process that
amazed.
Wow.
that committee took like a year. Oh,
Oh,
God, I can't even
Maybe
remember.
10?
I want to say
Before
longer.
the pandemic.
Yes,
Oh,
totally
really?
before the pandemic, yeah, maybe even early 2000s. It was a long time ago.
Wow.
I volunteered for it. Somebody said, oh, we need a dog control bylaw. I'm like, okay, I'm a dog lover, I'll help. We had a good committee, but it did take a while. And again, thinking about, what makes sense for the community, but I hadn't thought about it. I didn't know that other towns also had
Yeah.
bylaws related to cats, but I don't know. Could be something to think about
Luke's
for the
cat
future.
does keep down the mice population.
Sure does.
And the hawks keep down the cat population.
Okay.
Okay,
Anyway.
well, then maybe
All right.
we're
But
Getting
yeah,
off-
the animal control is separate. There are some where the animal control is also the animal inspector. But animal inspector primarily deals with doing the annual barn inspections. So anyone that has farm animals, whether they're pets or they have a working farm, they get inspected. It's for emergency preparedness reasons, that they do that to, try to control animal disease outbreaks. And the information is confidential, and it stays between the animal inspector, the animal owner, and Department of Agriculture. So the barn books are what that purpose is for, and that came up this month. So the barn books come out in September, and then the animal inspector has until the end of the year to complete all of that. But they can give more time when there's transition. And then the other aspect is like rabies control via the quarantines for wounds of unknown origin. So people that they're cast out, for example, sometimes get a wound, depending upon whether the cat is vaccinated or dog. It's either a 45-day quarantine or a 4-month rabies quarantine at home.
Wow.
And then it's the dog bites, which are 10-day quarantines. So it is varied. It's different from what animal control does, but they parallel each other, because a lot of times your dog bites, there's enforcement of the leash law, finding out if the dog is up to date on their rabies vaccine, which can be the animal control side. And then, if the victims want to press charges and bring it to the select board, they can do a vicious dog hearing, and animal control is usually involved in that too.
Oh, so animal control is under the select board? Oh, okay, that's
And
part of my
connected to the
confu-
police
that's part of my
department, with the
confusion.
police.
Yeah,
And
and
connected-
animal control is not us.
Right, connected to the police department as well.
I see.
Because it has somewhat of that kind of enforcement, law
Yeah.
enforcement kind of stuff they do, yeah.
Thank you for that, because I've been here now, this is my 6th
Now,
year.
when
It's the
that
first
barn-
time I've really,
When that barn list comes out every year, how many I'm sure the list isn't really huge, but is there multiple inspections for each property throughout the year, or is it just one and done?
Just one and done.
Okay.
Yep, if there's concern, like if an inspection was done and there's concern, a follow-up can certainly
Yeah,
be done,
yeah,
but at
but
that
it's not
point,
like
if
a
there's
scheduled-
concern about welfare,
Okay.
talk to the Department of Agriculture and they can kind of take it from there.
Right.
But yeah, we do pay $20 per inspection. I'm working with Joan to put this on for your May special town meeting to increase it to $25 per
Yeah.
inspection. I actually thought it was $25 per inspection, but it's actually,
no, it would be the regular
20.
town meeting. It would be for the following year, special town meeting is retroactive.
Okay, or is it,
So you're talking about
May is the
You're
May
right.
is the regular.
May,
term.
May 2026 is what you're
Okay.
thinking about, right? May
I
to,
think
yeah,
so.
that would be the one to do.
whichever one they usually talk about budgets.
Budgets,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be the one to
Yeah, it
do.
would be
Yeah,
the-
that makes sense. That seems more reasonable out, per inspection rate.
Okay.
All right, so
So
now
you would just need
Yeah,
a.
we
we
just,
just
we
need a
just need
motion.
a motion to appoint Sharon to the-
Sharon, pronunciation, Sharon Oi as new animal inspector.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right,
So we have to vote
we have to
first.
vote.
all in favor?
Congratulate her before we vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now, congratulations.
So Sharon, I just need you, sometime this week, you're gonna be in the office, right? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Either Wednesday or Friday, if you bring this to the town clerk.
Okay.
They need to, they'll swear you in, and, they just have to see you sign, you would print and sign and date, and then they'll notarize this.
Okay.
And then, you can just give this to Mary, and she'll send it off to the department.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
So either Wednesday or Friday between 9 and 3.
Okay.
Mary is here, so she
Okay.
can put that.
Then once I get it back, because they send back you're nominated, I'll get that to you, so
Okay.
you can have that with you.
Perfect, thank you.
Well,
Excellent.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
Sounds like you're gonna be great
Yeah.
in the job.
Yeah, absolutely.
That takes care of our action meetings. We have regular business.
I don't think we have minutes.
You don't, I didn't see any attached.
Minute? We don't have minutes, right?
No, I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
Next month.
I got one thing
All
to
right.
talk about.
Yep.
if I can.
Sure, go ahead.
Get us to 6:30. So anybody's watching at home and wonders why anybody would want to sit on the Board of Health, I have here, this was sent to me by Maureen Busby, who's the tobacco regulator inspector for the eastern part of the state. It's a job, I guess, like Heather Warner's, although I've never been clear what any of these people, it's based on who's funded. These are, so Big Tobacco says that they, am I supposed to show this? I don't know. There. Big, oh, even better, okay. Big Tobacco claims that they don't sell to children. These are vapes, which are for sale, and one of them, the first one on the left is like an electric guitar, presumably aimed at teens. The middle one is a teddy bear, probably teens would not want to have that one, that would be for preteens. And the third thing is a vape and play music wirelessly from your phone. And all of this is to get children addicted to nicotine. And if you wonder why we want to be on the Board of Health, it's to protect the lives of everybody, but particularly children.
That's why we have tobacco control
That's right,
regulations. That's why
exactly.
we
All
did the
those, right,
nicotine-free generation.
generation, exactly.
And you know, we heard in this room a few months ago from one of the nicotine dealers, I guess I'm not supposed to call them drug dealers, one of the nicotine dealers who said, well, I think if they send it to me, it's probably legal. You know, the wholesalers, and, you know, the wholesalers couldn't care less about the law. They're not even, you know, we don't even license them. So here we are. And we passed nicotine-free generation, and Dr. Dave and I estimated that would save 3 to 5 lives a year. Not lives in 2025, lives in
Right.
2045 and 2050. So we keep working at it.
And, you know, this just also shows that there's no shortage at all of creativity and resources
Keep
on the
trying.
on the part of the folks who want people to start using nicotine,
Yep.
start using it early. You know, their best bet is get you started early so that they have a lifelong customer, but.
Right.
So they just, they modify their products to be appealing to today's youth. And they'll just keep doing it because they have the resources to do that. So that's definitely why public health has to step in.
Which is why trying to regulate nicotine and not cigarettes.
Right.
Right, exactly.
And because it's guacamole.
Right.
And then there are the pouches, of course. And we have anecdotal evidence that some of the kids swallowed.
Good between the toes.
You know, you put one in the left cheek, one in the right cheek, and swallow a third one, that's more than 6 milligrams.
Board of Health can always declare they don't want to play those games anymore.
Yeah.
You know what to do. Because you can do it.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, NFG, nicotine-free generation, in the last few months has been endorsed by the Mass Medical Society.
Oh,
That's
great.
12,000 or something
Mhm.
MDs. The National American Medical Association.
Wow.
Can't wait those.
The 84, which is a group of young
Mhm.
people
Yep.
who work against nicotine. And most recently, MCTP, is that the right letters?
Mhm.
That's the Massachusetts,
Tobacco control, yeah.
which allows those, for the very first time, and I think it might be this month they passed this, allows these people like Maureen and Heather to go out and work on nicotine-free generation in
Oh,
addition to
good.
the other things they do. They're state funded, I guess, out of the tobacco money, something like that.
Yeah, DPH.
Through DPH.
So that's 4 good endorsements in the last few months.
Wow.
Ken, I know you've been following some of it. That meeting in South Hadley that got canceled, they're gonna reschedule that for?
It's in 2 weeks.
Okay, so South Hadley's still looking at having a
Right.
hearing or a conversation, a meeting about it. Okay, great.
And I was with Buckland and they're
The town
they're
of
gonna have a
Buckland, yeah.
hearing. Buckland, which of course is Shelburne Falls,
Right.
is gonna have a joint hearing with Shelburne. The
Mm.
2 boards of health are gonna be doing that
Working
together, and
Good.
that's November, I think.
Yeah,
Good.
that makes sense.
Well,
Thank you, Andrea, for bringing all this up before us.
Thank you
You've
for being so
created
open-minded.
you've created a monster.
Hey, it's the way to go. It's the way to do it going forward, the nicotine-free generation.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, anybody else have any other discussions on anything? Want to talk to?
Lake Holland.
Oh,
Let me just, it's still, closed, like, there's advisory is still up, although this is the time of the season, like, no one's really gonna be swimming, it's cold. DPH did go out on Thursday, the 18th, and they took a sample,
oh,
and
okay.
it showed, the levels were below the DPH guideline of 70,000 cells per milliliter. They came up with 47,000 cells per milliliter. And the toxin microcystin was non-detect, which was good, but they required 2 rounds of samples below this level 1 week apart. So they're gonna be coming out this week to do that second sample. And if the second sample is also below, then they can tell us to lift the
Lift the
advisory and take this down.
Great.
That's done.
Yeah, it's been frustrating. This has been going on months now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe close to 2 at this point, but there's other places that I have heard that have had the same cyanobacteria issues. And the length of time to lift the advisory has been a long time.
Wow.
It's not just a couple of weeks and it's clearing up, it's just taking a lot
Yeah.
longer to clear up on its own. So,
Oh, I know.
We don't have residents that are able to dump their sewage in Lake, have they?
What?
Are they able to dump their sewage in their homes into the lake?
No,
No more, because
Obviously
that's
not.
why they built the extensive Belchertown.
To get to the
Sewer.
sewer,
Why were they
town
doing that
water,
before?
town sewer, yeah. Oh, yeah, years ago when I
ago.
was on the Board of Health.
Probably
Around,
until like 1990.
Yeah, from all the cottages.
Sometimes even just literally, some of the
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't
cottages,
dumping it, but they were putting it in the
Yeah.
ground and.
Yeah.
some of them just had a pipe from
Yeah.
their
That's where
plumbing
they
right
built
into
the,
the lake decades
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Remember when they
remember
had
that.
Yeah.
a lot of
never
those
fail, so you
smaller
have like 50 years.
Right.
You know.
And before some of the regulations were as clear as they are now, but yeah, people were,
Well, you're not allowed to build anymore in the event.
right, you have to,
Because it's
right,
over.
anyway.
I had another question, if I may.
Sure.
We had the mosquito guy here at our last
Mm.
meeting, and he was gonna go to the select board.
Yep.
Did that happen, do you know? Were you with
Not
him?
yet. I
You were gonna go
emailed
with
Steve.
him, I think.
I did email Steve the information and what the board recommended. So he's gonna be putting this on an agenda, at a future
Future
agenda.
agenda.
So,
Okay.
he'll let me know when that is and then, you know, he'll
Okay.
coordinate with, I think his name was Jim, I think,
I think so, what was his name? I wrote
to attend and then, you know, we can have.
It's a different set of animals, mosquitoes,
Yeah.
from what you deal with.
The worst.
Yes.
John, no, that's the name of the,
And we had-
their control thing,
And
Briggs.
there was,
Yeah, that was.
John Briggs,
we had
is
a
that his name?
mosquito that
Okay,
found
there you go.
triple E in
Yes,
Belchertown.
yeah, I'm very aware it's a big kind of scary thing in the horse world, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet, yeah, right.
We had a horse
Exactly,
die
yeah.
here in, what did I say, it was, it's, I think, of triple E.
So yeah, John was here last month, right, back in August?
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Well done.
Make a motion.
I move that we adjourn.
Do I hear a
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.